All right. We have the wonderful Mangal Suvarnan with us in the studios, and
What's up,
it
what's
is
up?
amazing. Hi, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, dude. It's nice to see you again.
Finally, yeah, man.
dude. We've been talking on Discord for a bit, and
Absolutely.
finally we, caught up last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, come to the studios. Come down. Let's have a chat.
Fantastic.
So, tell us about Mangal. Who's Mangal?
So Mangal is a music producer and an artist primarily. So he's born and raised in the Middle East, and he wants to get the hell out of there and come to Bangalore as fast as he can. I've made all kinds of music, really, like indie acoustic to electronic music, but the bread and butter would be electronic music because that's the one that's given me a lot more success,
Mm-hmm.
I would say. That's all in a nutshell, and that's 10 years of work. So in
That's
like 30
crazy.
seconds.
And you've done a remix for Rihanna.
Yeah, I
And
have.
tell us about that.
Oh man, you want the long story or the short one? Or the medium?
The medium one.
Okay, gotcha. So it started off with, have you heard of ADE? It's called Amsterdam Dance Event. So that's where all the networking happens, all the fancy things happen. So I was in Amsterdam, and it was the final day, and I was just grabbing sushi with my manager. And he was like, hey, one of my other artists are doing a remix for Rihanna. I was like, oh, that's really nice. And I'm paying for the sushi. So I was like, that's really great, man. Thank you for letting me know. He's like, fine, I'll send you the stems as well. And he sent me the stems via WhatsApp as a link. So it's Rihanna's pure vocals on WhatsApp. Not as the file itself, but as a link. And I'm like, when do you want this? He's like, yesterday. As soon as I got back home, I smashed it out with the best of my abilities, and I sent it off. And I sent it to him. He sent it to Def Jam, and Def Jam sent it to Rihanna's management. I'd like to say Rihanna as well, but I don't know. And then all of them approved it, dude. So within like 5 to 6 days, I got that. It was just...
Dude, I think she pretty much saw that. Like, she has to approve it, right?
She has to have heard it at least once.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that sounds all right with my voice in it. So, but yeah, dude, it was an absolute, like, I wouldn't say it's just luck, but it was a lot of luck, a lot of right place, right time, dude. If I didn't buy that sushi, just imagine what would have happened.
Thank God for sushi. Thank God for sushi.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely.
So, how did you get into music? Like, what was the push that pushed you into this industry?
I always messed around with the guitar. The acoustic guitar is what started it. I borrowed my brother's acoustic guitar, and that gave me the inclination to understand music better.
Mm-hmm.
My parents forced me to study Carnatic music when I was a kid for like a year in Saudi, but like I never really pursued it. But it was under, like, I was an intern at my dad's office one day, and I was like, man, I don't want to waste. I had nothing to do, and I don't want to waste my time and his time. I don't want to play video games and be like, man, Mangal, today just don't play any video games. Just do something productive with your life. And I opened up my documents folder for a change, and I saw the software. It's a demo called FL Studio. From then onwards, man, that day onwards, I understood the software. I was like, what on earth is this? Then I discovered that Afrojack, Avicii, even Laid Back Luke for that matter, these guys all use the same software to make music. And 10 years later, I'm here, man, in the studio.
That's amazing. Like, what a story.
Dude, yeah,
What
man.
a story.
Thank you.
Now, the gigs you've played, sometimes I'm pretty sure you've had like bad gigs, right?
Absolutely.
What's the worst gig you've had, and how did you overcome that?
Oh man, I hate to mention it, but like there were so many hardworking people, including my wife, who's pushed us so far to get to that gig. It was the opening night for we had made a night for my EP that released on Armada.
Mm-hmm.
Armada is a label that's like electronic. It's based in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
owned by Armin van Buren. So there was no buzz about the label itself in Dubai. So we tried to throw our own gig, and that was the worst thing that ever. Because I was in the washroom and I was like, man, I could just walk away and not do this gig, and people will hate me for a while, but it'll be okay. I can just play my video games forever. But then I saw my wife's face, and I was like, okay, I gotta get on stage, and that was the worst set of my life because the sound was off. Like even before the gig started, there was an empty void of space right at the stage, not at the stage, right in the front of the dance floor, and those guys had brought some cheap speakers just to fix that problem. So, man, that was the worst 1.5 hours ever. People loved it. The people who showed up for the gig, they enjoyed it. But for me as an artist or as a person trying to perform, Whew.
And how did you like come out after that? How did you finish
So
it?
I've just somehow used just my headphones to mix in, mix out, and make sure like I look at the dance floor, see if I'm making sure that people are having a good time, and just counted the minutes, man, counted the seconds for that matter. And then I was just trying to play all my music and test it out because okay, if it's gonna crash and burn, might as well try everything.
Something, yeah. Just do whatever you want now.
Yeah, this is anyone's game. But it really, I mean, touch wood, it did not sound bad for the other people. Just in my head, it was really bad because it was actually it was sponsored by a radio as well, and there was an opening and closing act, and all of those guys were just incredibly supportive, man. And yeah, that was I would say one of the worst.
One of the worst.
But it didn't look bad from the outside. Disclaimer.
So when you write a song, what's your process? How do you go through the entire process?
I mean, for me, primarily it's just the melody, dude. Like my melody, like not my melody, the melody that comes out from the emotions that I feel, deciphers what genre it is, what pace it needs to be, absolutely everything, and only then will I really take it forward. Like usually, like I would like to try different concepts, but not concepts, like different processes. God, like start with the beat, for example. But for me, it's just that if you get the emotion right, then everything will follow. Like that's my idea. So.
And you usually make EDM mainly.
Electronic music, yeah.
Are you venturing into any other genres at the moment?
Absolutely, man. Like I funnily enough, you mentioned I have an entire album's worth of music that's not EDM.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like so. What I do is like when I get tired of making electronic music, I make like this indie acoustic with my acoustic guitar, the bassuri, and vocals and a bass guitar, and that's it.
How many instruments do you play?
Not a lot, man.
Don't lie. You just mentioned like some 5 right there.
No, dude. So I play primarily the acoustic guitar is my go-to thing if I need to survive. Then I picked up the bassuri, which is also a very funny story. But I learned the bassuri as that's my second instrument, and that's it, dude.
That's it?
Yeah. The keys I'm learning now, but it's nowhere near like anything that I can use professionally. But like the bassuri, the guitar, I mean in that sense the bass guitar as well maybe, but nothing else. No, just
wow. But the bassuri is a very hard instrument, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like it's got like its quirks. Basically you can only play a certain scale, but if you can play that certain scale, you have varying levels of how proficient you can get with that instrument, because there are like these half notes and these what do you call swells, this vibrato. Oh man, I'm still learning, dude. Like no jokes.
I think all these professional musicians say all the same thing, right? I'm still learning. They have this down to earth thing to them.
No, I'm really learning. Not those guys. They come and rip a fat like riff, and they'll no, I'm still learning.
But I think I saw a video of you doing that, and dude, like he ripped a fat beat right there. Please, he's being very modest right now.
No. Okay.
What's the one piece of advice that another musician has told you that actually stayed with you till now?
I mean, like this one piece of advice. It's not necessarily from music, but it's like with life, but also it makes sense with music. It became because of a reason, because a gig fell through last minute. So one of my friends who I look up to as an elder brother, he was like, man, if you do absolutely everything in your power, and if it still doesn't come through even after you do that, then it's not meant to be, and don't waste your energy for it, because you did everything you can and it's still not meant to be. So you know, there's a lot of weight off your shoulders if it doesn't work. But if you don't do everything in your power and you lose that opportunity, then you deserve a little punishment. I mean, whatever.
Beating up.
Beating. Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that's one piece of advice that I'll never forget, dude.
So you've been in the Middle East and you're coming to Bangalore. Why Bangalore? Like, I love Bangalore, but I like to hear other people what they think about Bangalore. So why Bangalore?
I mean, I've been to other places in the country, right? Like, I'm from Kerala.
Yeah.
So, and I've been to multiple places in Kerala as well. I'm not knocking the state either, but like for some reason, man, okay, this is the most cliche answer ever, but Bangalore's weather is so good, man. Like, you don't need air conditioning here. And I'm like, this house doesn't have AC. It's like, no.
You don't need to.
Why? I'm like, no, you don't need to. And then you just open the windows and it's fresh air. Like, and if you're at a higher up building, it's just even colder. You don't need AC at all. Yes. So the second reason is people are so nice here, man. People are a lot nicer, dude. Like for example, like I'm at like I've been here maybe 2 weeks to 3 weeks. I'm already in one of the biggest stations in India, having an interview. That doesn't happen, dude. That doesn't happen in Dubai.
Right?
No, that doesn't. At least in my experience, in my tenure there, dude. Like it doesn't happen in Dubai. It doesn't happen in Los Angeles. Like you really have to fight your way up to get there. But like I think it's just like that inviting presence here that I want to be here. I want to belong here, not just be a visitor. That's two big reasons. And the music scene is great.
Yeah, the music scene is picking up, I think, in Bangalore.
Great. And I want to be a part of that wave, dude. Like, it's just... So I just want to ride that wave for it.
We recently spoke to one other indie artist named Sangeeta, and she's moving to Bangalore as well.
Wow.
So we have from Mumbai.
Nice.
So we have a lot of these artists coming to Bangalore, and I'm so happy. The scene is just, it's bubbling up.
Right, dude.
It's great.
It is. You want to take a sip of that, man. Like,
yeah, really.
Yeah, and you're at the cusp of it, dude. Like sitting in the master chair, like pressing those buttons, like.
Simply for fun, dude. Just to make you think I'm doing some work over here. That's it. There's nothing else. Okay, one fun question now. If you had to describe the color red to a blind person, how would you do that?
Caught me off guard. I mean, I'd say passion.
Wow.
Absolutely. Like if you really like I would say crimson is red would be anger, but crimson would be like just absolute passion for something that you're blinded by it.
That's red.
That's the feeling you get. That's
and if you had to call like any of your songs or your music, if you had to put a color to that, any color.
Orange and blue.
Why? Because Radio 1.
No. Hey, no. Actually, ask a couple. What? Okay, listen. Before I came here, check all my independent releases. All of the color scheme of all of that is orange and blue, because that is for some reason I just discovered. A friend of mine showed it to me. It's like that's my favorite color combination.
I mean,
I didn't even.
I mean, come on.
No, it's not. Dude, trust. It's not that at all. I mean, now since I noticed, I'm like maybe. But orange and blue, that combo is magic, dude. For some reason,
it really
I discovered.
It is. But you know what? Are you putting out a pop song soon? I think you mentioned that.
Yeah. I am.
And I can't wait for that.
Dude. I would say it is definitely pop because the vocals are super pop, but the instrumentation is kind of like out there, but it's definitely pleasurable to listen to. It's not something that's just gonna hurt your ears, and it's just you have to hear it. I think the best way to say it is like supremely melodic.
Oh,
that's it. That's the right way to say it.
What's your favorite? Not favorite, I would say. Your dream venue to play at?
Two, man. If you're talking as a DJ / as an electronic music artist performer, I want to do two places, man. One is AMF, Amsterdam Music Festival, which is during that same thing, ADE, and the other one is Ultra Music Festival.
And where is that happening?
Ultra Music Festival is in Miami.
Okay.
One of the biggest music festivals in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been there backstage, man, but like I just want to be on stage, dude. Yeah.
Guys, listening?
Yeah.
They all listen. I mean, who knows? We never know who's listening on the other side. Like, social media is crazy that way. So, let's get it on video.
Put it out in the universe, right?
Yeah. Oof. Manifesting from the studio.
Absolutely.
That was Mangal, guys. What a fun dude. And
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Dude, thank you for your time, man. This
was
incredibly fun for me.
94.3 Radio 1.